Hello, and thank you for joining us. Today we're going to talk about dress codes and their effect on job satisfaction, commitment, productivity, and the overall culture of a company. I'm Caroline Roche.
I'm Cosgrove.
And I'm Kristen, Conniff.
So about 30 years ago, there wouldn't even be a conversation about workplace attire because men used to arrive in suit and ties every day and women were expected to wear conservative dresses and skirts. Everyone dressed for success regardless of their position in the company or their interactions with clients or whatever. But however, in recent years, there's been a huge increase in the number of firms that allow casual attire in the workplace. And this casual attire movement actually started in 1966 in Hawaii, of all places. So the Hawaiian government realized that they needed to sell more Hawaiian shirts. So they came up with Aloha Friday, which is basically just a marketing ploy to encourage businesses to let their employees wear Hawaiian shirts on Fridays. This actually made its way to the mainland in the 1990s in the form of Casual Fridays, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard of. Casual Fridays are an easy way for a company to let their employees dress down and feel relaxed while still maintaining some professionalism in the workplace. So what started as Casual Fridays soon turned into Casual Everydays for the company, and here's just an example of like the transition from the typical suit and tie to more of the Casual Friday look, like jeans and a button down or khakis and button down. And a study showed that in 2015, 62% of organizations allowed casual dress once a week and 36% allowed it every day. And this was a significant increase from even just the year before, which was 56% and 19% respectively. So a reason for this increase in casual attire in the workplace could be due to our society becoming more casual, or the fact that managers are engaging in more empowerment activities by allowing their employees to determine how, when, and where to conduct their work tasks. Regardless, dress codes or lack thereof have several different effects on job satisfaction, commitment, productivity, and the overall culture of the company.
So as we discussed workplace attire and its effect on job satisfaction, commitment, productivity, and culture, I'd like to start by taking a look at the integrated model of organizational behavior, and I'll start with the individual mechanism of job satisfaction and how dress codes should be increasing job satisfaction rather than decreasing it, and this will have a positive impact on both job performance and commitment. So job satisfaction is defined as a pleasurable or emotional state resulting from the appraisal of one's job or job experiences, which is basically just how an employee feels about their job. So if organizations with keep turnover low, they should try to keep job satisfaction up. And the happier an employee is, the more likely they are to perform well and stay committed to their job. So making sure an employee is comfortable in the way they dress shows that they are valued and contributes positively to job satisfaction. But if an office dress code causes an employee stress while trying to figure out what to wear, or the dress code guidelines are unclear, this will decrease an employee's overall job satisfaction. So Starbucks is an example of a company that changed their dress code for the purpose of increasing job satisfaction. And in 2016, they relaxed their dress codes to allow for more personal expression, and they're a good example of how employees can represent the company professionally while still expressing themselves through their dress at work. So while still wearing the traditional apron, baristas can now wear shirts that are colored beyond the traditional black and white, and they expanded their hair color rules from just naturally colored hair to now allowing a variety of colors as long as it keeps with food safety standards. And hats of all varieties are now welcome. Starbucks knows that a job as a barista is not necessarily in very high demand, and this initiative will help to make employees more comfortable and willing to stay at Starbucks longer. And this move also comes at a time when millennials are entering the workforce and find personal expression through dress to be much more important than previous generations have. And the president of Starbucks in Canada, Roseanne Williams, made a statement on this. She says, "We are responding to what our partners have told us and are confident this will uplift the Starbucks brand, partner, and customer experience." So through their new dress code, Starbucks is working to increase job satisfaction by making sure the baristas are happy and comfortable and able to express themselves while still upholding professionalism in their stores. So Starbucks is also very adaptive and changing with the times, which is key in increasing job satisfaction.
So going back to the integrated model of organizational behavior, we can see that job satisfaction has a direct impact on organizational commitment, and that's actually a strong positive relationship, meaning that higher levels of job satisfaction result in higher levels of commitment. So we specifically looked at the effect of dress codes on effective commitment, which is the feeling that an employee wants to stay at an organization due to an emotional attachment or involvement with that organization. So while there are several different ways to foster effective commitment, one of those ways is that the employee is given opportunities to express his or herself. So since clothing is an outward form of expression, having a relaxed dress code such as Starbucks may allow employees to express their own style, which could lead to them being more committed to the organization. However, workplace attire doesn't seem to have much of an impact on continuance or normative commitment, simply because it doesn't impact the feeling of relying on the organization financially or owing the company something. But it is important for employees to have high levels of commitment in organizations, because then they'll partake in fewer withdrawal behaviors, which will increase the productivity of the individual and the company. So this is just like a snippet of the integrated model. Higher levels of job satisfaction result in higher levels of organizational commitment, which increases productivity overall.
So as Caroline mentioned, dress codes have a significant impact on the organization's productivity level. So in order for an organization to be successful and to maintain their success, they have to hire employees who contribute to their overall productivity. So productivity can be defined as the outcome of employee behaviors that positively contribute to the accomplishment of the organization. So many scholars and psychologists have examined the effects of dress codes and on productivity in the workplace and have found many differing opinions. A major contributing factor is how employees feel when wearing casual clothes versus formal clothes, and then its effect on productivity. So a study found that people who wear formal clothing tend to tend to feel more competent and rational, and people who wear casual clothing tend to feel more laid back and relaxed. So these various cognitive feelings that employees experience impacts the type of activities that they engage in. So the study also found that employees who wear casual clothing think more concretely, and concrete thinking causes employees to complete specific tasks, such as writing proposals or conducting research. And these tasks require major attention to detail, which is a direct link to wearing casual clothing. So employees who wear formal clothing, on the other hand, it causes them to think more abstractly. And the confidence and the importance from wearing their formal clothing allows employees to think abstractly and to engage in activities that require big picture thinking. So while casual clothing does or can be effective for productivity, other research shows that it can also impede it. So there's a study that found that people who wear certain articles of clothing associate the behavior with that article of clothing. So therefore, if you're wearing like a sweatshirt or sweatpants to work, they're often associated with relaxing. So employees may be inclined to engage in counterproductive behaviors such as cyberloafing. While when employees are required to wear formal clothing, it gives them a sense of confidence and importance. So the tasks that they engage in require a high level of motivation, and they have it since they're wearing formal clothing. So in addition to how the employee feels, external factors such as weather has a major impact on productivity and overall dress code. And in our research, we found that there is a connection between productivity, weather, and dress code. And a survey found that 56% of employees who were allowed to wear casual clothing felt comfortable, while more than 50% of people who were required for a formal dress code felt uncomfortable. So what this as a result of that, the study found that only 3% of employees that were required to wear formal clothing were likely to work overtime, while the 16% of employees who were able to wear casual clothing during summer months were 16% more likely to work overtime. So as you can see, there's a major discrepancy between casual and formal work attire in the summer. And while you don't have to maintain a casual dress code the whole year, it would be effective for you to have it during the summer months when the weather changes and people feel less comfortable. So it's another factor to consider when creating it, and another factor to consider when an organization creates a dress code.
So as we know, every company has a specific culture, and there are a lot of different factors that are involved with creating that culture, including like common beliefs, values, and motives of the employees of that organization, just to name a few. But of the observable artifacts that go into culture, one of the most noticeable from an observer, an outsider, is the dress code of the employees. So a life coach and public speaker wrote, "Another important function of the dress code is its ability to unite employees and foster a cohesive team. When the appearance of employees is governed by the same set of rules, they feel a part of whole and gain a sense of leadership." So by saying this, this life coach means that stronger cultures may be formed as a result of strict dress codes, and weaker cultures may be formed from lax or no dress codes. But regardless of the type of dress code, many experts think it's beneficial for a company to have clear expectations of their employees and of what they want them to wear, just to prevent any problems like legally or like any discrimination complaints.
So there really is no perfect answer for whether an organization should implement a dress code or not. As Andrew Jensen, a business growth, efficiency, and marketing consultant puts it, it seems that attire is such a deeply personal preference that at least from a statistical perspective, there's no perfect way to predict how implementing a dress code in your workplace will affect productivity. So dress codes should be implemented on a situational basis and should take into account what the line of work is and whether a strict dress code is actually necessary. It is also important to have clear guidelines that are easily communicated to employees when a dress code is put in place. And dress codes can change over the life of the organization as weather or current trends influence the type of dress code that's needed. And it would be in the company's best interest to create a dress code depending on the workplace environment, customer base, and company values, while also taking into consideration the feelings of the employees. So thank you for listening to us.